Life. It begins in the most silent and hidden place, deep inside a mother's womb. Without any announcement, without any noise, a journey starts that will transform a single microscopic cell into a living, breathing human being. This journey, known as fetal development, is not only a biological process, but also one of the most awe-inspiring miracles in the natural world. Every heartbeat, every movement, every tiny feature is part of a perfectly timed sequence designed to prepare a baby for life outside the womb. To witness and understand this process is to witness the sheer genius of creation, whether you see it through the lens of science or the eyes of wonder. Today, let us walk through this incredible 9-month transformation from conception to birth and discover the miracle of fetal development. Month 1. The beginning of life. The journey starts at conception, when a single sperm cell from the father fuses with the mother's egg, forming a zygote. This cell contains all the genetic information needed to create a new human being. Eye color, hair type, height potential, even certain personality traits are coded within this microscopic package. Within hours, the zygote begins dividing into more cells as it travels down the fallopian tube toward the uterus. By the end of the first week, it reaches the uterus and implants into its lining. Here, it becomes an embryo, receiving nourishment from the mother through a developing placenta. Already, the cells are specializing, some becoming the brain and nervous system, others forming the heart, lungs, or muscles. At just 22 days after conception, the heart begins to beat, a tiny flicker of life that will continue for decades to come. Month 2. Rapid formation. During the second month, the embryo grows rapidly. The head develops more quickly than the rest of the body because the brain is forming at an astonishing rate. Tiny buds appear where arms and legs will grow, and facial features like eyes and ears begin to take shape. Internal organs, including the liver and kidneys, start developing. At this stage, the embryo is still less than an inch long, but the foundations for all major body systems are already in place. The placenta and umbilical cord are now fully functioning, carrying oxygen and nutrients from the mother to the developing baby and removing waste. The intricate connection between mother and child has been established, a lifeline that will remain until birth. Month 3. Transition to a fetus. By the end of the third month, the embryo is now called a fetus. It's about 3 inches long and weighs roughly an ounce, but it already has fingers, toes, fingernails, and even tiny tooth buds. The reproductive organs begin to differentiate into male or female, although it's still too early to tell through ultrasound. The fetus starts to make small movements, but these are not yet strong enough for the mother to feel. At this point, the risk of miscarriage decreases significantly, as most of the critical development has occurred. The body is now shifting from creating new structures to refining and growing them. Month 4. Growing stronger. In the 4th month, the fetus's skeleton begins to harden from soft cartilage into bone. Muscles are developing, allowing for more purposeful movement. Facial expressions can be seen. The baby may even suck its thumb. The skin is still thin and transparent, but underneath, fat stores will soon begin to accumulate. The heartbeat can now be heard clearly with a Doppler device, a moment many parents cherish. Month 5. Movement, and senses. By the 5th month, the mother often feels the first gentle kicks and movements, known as quickening. The baby's sense of touch is developing, and it can respond to stimuli by moving or turning. A fine layer of hair, called lanugo, covers the body, and a protective coating called vernix caseosa begins to form on the skin to protect it from constant contact with amniotic fluid. The baby's hearing becomes more sensitive, and it can hear the mother's heartbeat, voice, and even muffled sounds from the outside world. Research shows that babies may start to recognize familiar voices at this stage. Month 6. Preparing for survival. At 6 months, the fetus is around 12 inches long and weighs about 1.5 pounds. The lungs are developing, although they are not yet fully ready to function outside the womb. The brain is growing rapidly, with neural connections forming at a breathtaking pace. The baby's eyelids, which were previously sealed shut, can now open and close. If born prematurely at this stage, a baby has a small but real chance of survival with medical help, although it would require intensive care. Month 7. Rapid brain growth. In the 7th month, the brain undergoes its most rapid development, forming billions of neurons. The baby begins to regulate body temperature more effectively and gains more fat to prepare for life outside. The eyes can respond to light, and the iom